And just a couple of minutes away from getting things rolling here. The drivers have worked these Titus JR23 cars out onto pit lane, and we have 13 of them getting set to go. We're still a little bit away from the call to fire up the engines. Again, my name is Rob Howden here live from Sebring. Looking forward to a great race here today. Green to checker yesterday. We'll see if we can't do that again today. And joining me in the booth for the call of this race, a driver we'll see in USF 2000 on Saturday and Sunday, but a veteran of the USF Juniors program, was part of the debut season last year with VRD Racing. Sam Corey, thanks for joining me, man. Great to have you with us. Obviously, you got your USF 2000 journey off to a decent start at St. Petersburg. How excited are you to get back on track here tomorrow?
Again, thank you for having me. But I'm really excited to be able to come back to Sebring, a really, really special place. Lots of history here, especially just after the 12 hours of Sebring being here and going racing. So decent start at St. Pete, but let's see if we can't do better here.
Obviously, you're going to get a chance to sit down and debrief with your fellow teammates here in USF Juniors. Have you talked to them at all a bit? Obviously, one of the big things we're hearing is the simple fact that we have a ton of grip compared to spring training a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. The grip levels look like, just from looking at the track, is a lot different. So just talking to the drivers and juniors and just seeing whatever I can learn for tomorrow, and hopefully VRD boys can get it done today.
It's going to be some good racing in USF 2000 for sure. A solid field of drivers getting set to go. We'll have a look at the grid as, again, drivers are down on pit lane right now. We're maybe about a minute away from getting things underway, so we'll talk about the 13 drivers we have. In fact, maybe we'll wait until we fire these engines up. We see the teams have worked their way down onto pit lane right now. The AMR IndyCar safety crew, which is part of our program here for the USF Pro Championships, taking a run around the racetrack as they often do after sessions. The USF Pro 2000 drivers getting their first run in the books. Their first practice sessions, they will join the program here. Miles Rowe and Jace Denmark, the two Pabst Racing drivers, P1 and P2. Risu Shijima for Jay Howard Driver Development in the third spot. Jordan Missig and Liram Zendelli. Missig for Pabst Racing and Zendelli for TJ Speed. That's your Fast Five in the morning practice session here. An interesting schedule, as we know, folks, with the different categories. But we are set to go, folks. Drivers are on the grid. 13 of them ready to go. Let's fire them up. Drivers, start your engines. 13 engines coming to life. All these power plants, of course, built by the good folks at Elite Engines from Wisconsin, Steve Knapp, Logan Knapp. And they're always trackside here to make sure there are no issues at all. Engines coming to life. And again, as I said, 13 drivers set to go. We'll start from the tail of the field, starting in the 13th spot, a rookie driver coming into the program. Not all the karting experience that so many of these other drivers have, but a passion for the sport. Giovanni Cabrera, learning in every session, did a good job yesterday, found some more speed. He'll start 13th in the number 93 for Exclusive Autosport. Moving now to row number 6, Carson Eder, another driver very similar to Cabrera. Not a lot of karting, or really no karting experience, and just a little bit of car experience, having run some F4. His family, Carson Eder in the number 57, actually big into the off-road truck scene. So Carson decided he wanted to go Formula car racing, and he is here with DC Autosport, similar to Cabrera, finding more speed every time he rolls onto the track. Eder in the number 57 will start in the 12th position. Inside of that row, all the way from Brazil, in the number 9, it's Eric Schoten for Exclusive Autosport, now residing in Indianapolis over the summer. His parents are here with him this weekend from all the way from Brazil. Schoten in the number 90, starting in the 11th position. Moving now to row number 5 on the outside, Brady Golan in the number 18 for D-Force Racing. Golan out of Austin, Texas, his first season here in the USF Pro Championships. He'll start 10th alongside Ethan Barker, who's starting back in the 9th position. Barker ran last year in USF Juniors as a privateer effort for Barker Racing. Teamed up with VRD Racing here for 2023, and he was in the middle of that fight from 4th back to 7th yesterday. A really good run for Ethan. He'll start 9th today inside of row number 5. Row 4 on the outside, this is how deep the winner from yesterday will start. The Aussie, Quinn Armstrong for D-Force Racing in the number 16 in 8th position. Watch for a wild start coming down into turn number 1. It'll be Armstrong in the number 16 starting 8th. Alongside him is D-Force Racing teammate Lucas Facuri in the number 17, the Brazilian set to go from P7. Row number 6 will have Nicholas Giaffoni, another one of the D-Force drivers in the number 19, starting on the outside, P6. And on the inside, a driver with good speed here for D-Force, for DC Autosport, Ethan Ho from Los Angeles, California. Ho in the number 68, starting P5. Up to row number 2 now. It is both drivers from VRD Racing. Jimmy Lockhart in the number 48 will start on the outside. Lockhart from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And from Hoboken, New Jersey on the inside, his teammate Max Taylor in the number 33, starting P3. 13 drivers in the field. And once again, an all-exclusive Autosport front row on the outside. P3 finisher from yesterday, Jack Jeffers in the number 92 out of San Antonio, Texas. He will start second, but the driver on the pole position looking to try to see if he can't get that win that eluded him yesterday out of Golden, Colorado, Joey Brienza on the pole once again in the number 91 for exclusive Autosport. And again, looking to get the jump. He led for a majority of the race yesterday. A little bit of a mechanical allowed Quinn Armstrong to slide by to turn number 17. Brienza looking to stand on top of the podium when this race is all said and done. 10 laps for these drivers here. Brienza and Jeffers on row 1. Taylor and Lockhart row 2. Ho and Giafoni on row 3. Fakuri and Armstrong row 4. Barker and Golan row number 5. Schoten and Eder row 6. And Cabrera row number 7. Sam Corey joining me here in the PA booth, as I had said, up in the broadcast center here at Sebring International Raceway. They're getting ready to come to the green. What is going through your mind when you are, wherever you are on the grid, getting ready to come to get that green flag?
You know, obviously, as I said yesterday, the nerves have kind of left your body, and it's all just mental at this point. The mental factor that goes into it is just, all right, let me get a clean start. Let me make as many positions as I can, if need be, and try and get to the front.
It's being aware of everybody around you as well,
100%.
right? What are these guys? Who's beside me? Who's in front of me? You kind of know the drivers you're racing with to a certain extent. Are they good starters? Is the guy in front of me the guy that's going to dive down to the inside? You know, you have to know the people around you as well.
Yeah, for sure. You really got to do your homework on all your drivers. So
here we go, folks. Out of turn number 17, the 3.7-mile racetrack here, 17 corners, lining things up, and we are green, green, green. And a good start for Max Taylor. He's going to get to the inside of Jeffers. It'll be Brienza coming wide to the outside of the racetrack. He'll dive to the bottom, I believe. Taylor, indeed, Max Taylor, I think, has the spot. Jeffers going to try to run the outside on him, though. Jack Jeffers running the rim. They'll go side by side, coming down into turn number 1. Jeffers may be able to inch him into the corner. It's to the bottom there. No, but to the inside, a better line for Max Taylor. So the VRD driver will go to P2. You see the fight further back. That is Ethan Ho coming to the inside as well on Jimmy Lockhart. So those two VRD drivers all settling in. The D-Force racers fighting as well, coming through turn number 6. The sweeping corner under the bridge over to turn number 7. The fight obviously further back, mid-pack to a certain extent. Everybody clean and green through the opening couple of corners. And Brienza, exactly what he wanted, jumped out to the early lead with the drivers fighting behind him. So we'll wait to pick them up coming out of the next corner here. And they'll work their way through. Limited cameras, of course, on the weekend, but we will take an opportunity to say hello to those of you who have tuned in. Thank you very much for watching the race here, whether you're on the USF Pro Championships YouTube page, the app, usfjuniors.com, all great ways to watch the program. Look at the fight further back. Everybody clean through this opening lap so far. Brienza with a little bit of a lead, and we'll see whether or not Jack Jeffers can go back at Max Taylor. Taylor, of course, a bit of a spin yesterday in turn number 3. That collected Ethan Ho as well, so he's looking to kind of bounce back after finishing at the tail of the field dead last in 13th. It'll be potentially a redemption day, but look at this. Right up on the gearbox is Jack Jeffers coming through turn number 16, putting all the pressure on him right now. We'll look at this opening lap. They'll work their way again down the back straightaway. This is the shot coming down from turn 1 down to turn number 17, Sunset Bend, the final corner on the racetrack. They'll work their way down the back chute. I know we're working to trying to get ourselves a camera on that back part of the racetrack. Oh, ideally, we'll have that for later in the day. 2 more races still to come on the day as well, as we'll cap off with the first of 2 races for USF Pro 2000, and then the day will cap with the final round of the triple header here for USF Juniors. It's a lead now, opening lap. You can see the gap back down to the bottom. This is allowing Brienza to run wide, because look at this. Jeffers has made a move to the inside. Jeffers coming down. No, that's not Jeffers. That's actually Lockhart. Where did Jeffers go? Jack Jeffers there to the outside. He's dropped a couple of spots. Jimmy Lockhart has got himself up there. How about 3 wide? Into the corner, way wide on the outside. That's the number 19 who's gone off. That is Giafoni. He's trying to come back on the racetrack. Giafoni deep into turn number 3. Sam Giafoni super aggressive right now, 2 deep into turn number 3.
I mean, the more these guys keep battling, that's exactly what Brienza wants. He just wants to pull away. So the more these guys battle, the better off it is for him.
So let's talk about turn number 3. You come into that corner there. at one point, Giafoni had to back out of it there, right? Trying to carry so much speed, trying to run the outside. Have you been able to go 2x2 through that corner? Did you try it in spring training?
I mean, you come through turn 1, you're carrying so much speed. It really narrows up going into turn 3 there. You can push the brake zone, but you can't push it too much. You got to drive to the limit of the tire. And if you try and go too wide through there, you most likely, if you're on the outside, are not going to make it through turn
Maybe you're
5.
going to go where Giafoni went?
Yeah.
Full 4 wheels off the track on the outside of turn number 3. And Giafoni brought it back on safely, though, over into turn number 5. It's a little bit of obviously it's a left-hander with a bit of a right kink back into the left-hander of 5 that leads the sweeping corner through over to turn number 7. So Giafoni dodged a bullet there, but again, look at the gap up front here right now for Joey Brienza. That's exactly what Sam Corey just said. Perfectly played in the hands. Now the fight is for third. I think that might be Lockhart potentially into the second spot. We'll give you a full field rundown when they come back around here. Because indeed, the lead for Brienza last time by was 1.5 seconds.
At this point for Brienza, all he wants to do is quali laps.
That's it, right? Just put the laps in. Entry, apex, exit, hit all those marks, lay down the qualifying laps. And this is the interesting thing, too. You wonder who maybe put fresh tires on. Only 2 sets of tires for qualifying and 3 races, so some tire management key. We had to do that last year. That's one of the things you obviously have to learn as a young driver.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like Jeffers had put on some stickers, but, I mean, a lot of the drivers are either going to have to run old tires for this run and new tires for race 2, or they're just going to have to save. So should be interesting to see.
There's Jeffers there running through with the number 12 right behind him. That's Ethan Barker. Then Ethan Ho behind him and Lucas Facuri. So the outside front row starter, Jack Jeffers, who looked like he was potentially going to be able to grab a hold of second spot, ends up losing that to Max Taylor. It is the number 33 of Taylor who has gone to second. Nicholas Giafoni scrapping it out with Jimmy Lockhart. That's the battle for third and fourth. And Jeffers leading Barker, Ho, and Facuri. Quinn Armstrong, yesterday's winner, now back in 9th spot. Did not get a good jump at the start. Was not able to make up any spots. So he ends up going all the way back to 9th. Brady Golan in 10th. Eric Schoten in 11th. Giovanni Cabrera in 12th. Carson Eder not showing. He has come across the line with 1 lap. If indeed he's on 1 lap, I got to think he's probably still on the lead lap. That just might be a timing issue. So Carson Eder, we believe, running in 13th, but we'll have a look visually when they come back around next time.
Yeah, it looked like someone started from the pit lane. Was that him?
That's a possibility. I did not see that coming through. I was obviously watching the fight, but yeah, good pickup there for Sam. So indeed, Carson Eder still, I believe, on that lead lap. We'll get the things dialed in here on live timing. Brienza's lead 2.5 seconds to complete lap number 2. And again, only 10 laps. And Sam, let's talk about the strategy on that. I'll look exactly for you guys. I think you guys are running maybe more than 10, maybe 12 or 13 laps. We'll get a full update on that. No, it's a long racetrack, so it's not a 20-lap race. It's only 12 laps, or however many you guys end up doing. I know it's 15 laps for the Pro 2000 drivers. Does that play a role in kind of your strategy a bit? Because you maybe have to get a little more aggressive with less laps.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the track is so long, so there's so many passing opportunities that you can take. And with less laps per se, there's less of kind of the tire save or the this, the that. I mean, the track itself is really bumpy, as everyone has said, because it's Sebring. So you just got to be careful in what you do and think about everything you're doing, but be as aggressive as you can.
Exactly that. 12 laps confirmed for the drivers in USF 2000, 10 in this category. Here comes a move potentially further back. It's one of the D-Force drivers making a move to the inside. That's that number 19 of Giafoni as he's able to get by. Is that Giafoni by Lockhart? Rather Taylor. That might be the move for second spot. So Nicholas Giafoni by, I believe, Lockhart, or by Taylor. He has moved his way into second. So Giafoni just went purple last time by. Fast lap of the race here on lap number 3 at 2:11.564. He was a full second faster than Joey Brienza on that last lap. 2.3 seconds the gap was Brienza over that next fight. Taylor and Giafoni across the line. But Giafoni looking good here right now, Sam. Lap number 3. He is lighting things on fire. We may see a driver be able to reel in Brienza here.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he just went purple, so if he can keep doing those quali laps and, have a quicker lap than Brienza, then maybe he runs him down, especially once you get into draft, because these cars in draft love them. So, but once he gets into kind of that drafting range, he should be able to pull up quite quickly.
We'll keep an eye on it for sure. We'll give a shout out to Jim Swintal, who's watching right now at LAX, Los Angeles Airport. Jim, of course, the voice of IndyCar race control, and in any of our IndyCar weekends, he's the voice of race control as well for USF Pro Championships. So we'll give a shout out to Jim Swintal. If you've ever been to one of our banquets as well, Jim does a beautiful piece of artwork for all of the champions as part of this USF Pro Championship. So cool that he is tuning in, and we know a lot of you tuning in from around the country and around the world. And around the world, because simply put, we have ourselves an international field once again. That was a push down into turn number 16. These drivers getting super aggressive. Let me ask you that question. That a move to the inside like that in turn number 16, it doesn't seem to me like it'd be a wise move, because you're just really going to lose that run down into turn number 17. It's more that you would want to set up in 16 to get a better run down.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to set yourself up to get a good exit shot. That's what this track is about, especially in the juniors cars, because they're a bit slower. You really need to focus on your exit shot so that you can get the run down the straight and be able to make a pass.
And we talked about that yesterday when I had Jordan Missing up here, Sam, in the booth, is the fact that, like, coming through that, 13, 14, 15 combination that leads to 16, that could set up the pass in 17 or potentially the pass in 1 as well.
Turn 1, yep.
Right? If you can get a good run, you make him defend down into turn 17. That allows you for the over-under, at least to set up for the run down to turn 1.
Yeah, for sure, especially if you can get the pass done before you get to turn 1 and be able to set up for a good turn and entry point, so you'd be set.
Watching these drivers a bit further back in the field. I believe that's Ethan Ho, I think, there in the number 68 machine, along with Ethan Barker, Quinn Armstrong, and Lucas Facuri. So that battle we're watching there right now is 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Ethan Ho, who started 5th position, currently running in the 6th spot, with Barker right behind him. Brienza's gap now down to 1.6 seconds. A full second. Giafoni a second faster than Joey Brienza. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Very likely Giafoni going on fresh Cooper tires.
I mean, possibly,
Maybe that much faster?
Yeah. New tires is a lot for these cars. Just the grip levels that are maximized and everything else. But it should be a good battle.
So that's part of the strategy, Sam, because with the teams, right? If you've gone to, I want to have a good race here, you put the fresh tires on, but then he's going to be on slightly used tires for race number 3. So, again, it's an opportunity when you decide to pull the trigger on the tires. Brienza looks like he may be having a driver chase him down pretty soon. There's that fight there again for Ethan Ho. That's, I believe he's scrapping out potentially with Armstrong. But it's Brienza, Giafoni, Taylor, Lockhart, and Jeffers. That's your top 5. We may see ourselves with a fight here pretty soon. We're just closing up on the halfway point. That's the 2 VRD drivers there, Taylor and Lockhart. A little further back there. Drivers coming through turn number 17. We'll see how the battle happens when they come, or the turn 15, 16, 17. That's the fight there between Lucas Facuri and Eric Schoten as well. That's for inside the top 10, 9th and 10th. Facuri running 9th, Schoten in 10th. They'll work their way down the back straightaway. Still waiting for our camera in turn 17 to come up. They're working on that right now. We'll have the run out of turn number 17, and we'll see what kind of a gap. There's the P1 and P2. It was 2.5 seconds a couple laps ago. Brienza getting reeled in right now here by Nicholas Giafoni, the D-Force driver. We'll pick up their lap times when they come through, but here they are. And look at the VRD drivers side by side. Those are your teammates, Sam, going side by side into one.
I really think they should start working together a bit, but, I mean, whoever's faster shall go to the front.
Jack Jeffers is right behind them there as well in that exclusive Autosport machine. Oh, a little wide there for Jimmy Lockhart. A little bit of a wiggle coming out of turn number 3. We've seen a lot of that there. Is that a tough corner? You were here obviously for spring training. Is it tough to get the balance right on the exit to get the power back down?
It is, because you really got to set up for turn 5 and get the exit shot down the straight, because, I mean, not really straight, but it's definitely flat out. So you really got to be careful there, especially if you're trying to get an exit shot, if you're going to make a pass or if you're going to set up for a pass into turn 7, because that's also a really good lunging spot.
Brienza, Giafoni, Lockhart, Taylor, Jeffers. Then the gap about 2.5 back to Ethan Ho in 6th. We talked about him in the battle with Quinn Armstrong, Ethan Barker, and Lucas Facuri. As it is Armstrong now up into 7th. I mentioned the battle between Facuri and Schoten. It's actually Brady Golan and Eric Schoten battling it out for 9th and 10th, or 10th and 11th rather. Carson Edder's been able to get by Giovanni Cabrera, so he's now up into the 12th spot. But this battle potentially up front brewing between Joey Brienza and Nicholas Giafoni. But we're not done with the final spot on the podium either, with the VRD drivers Jimmy Lockhart and Max Taylor scrapping it out right in front of yesterday's P3 finisher, Jack Jeffers. So a lot of excitement still to come. And here is your battle for the lead coming through turn number 16. Oh, another move to the inside. Max Taylor keeps looking to the inside there in 17. And the folks here in the broadcast booth, it may not be VRD team principal Dan Mitchell squirming, but the teammate here, Sam Corey, you like moan and groan every time you see him look to the inside.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, come on, guys, work together, try and catch the leaders. But no, they just keep battling. I mean, it's good to watch for the fans, but for me, it's come on, work together.
I think Sam Corey would like to have a radio right now. He'd like to be on the comms. Here's a shot here, folks. Look at this. And indeed, it's time to go defensive for Joey Brienza. How long are those good tires on the Coopers going to be for Giafoni? He's going to try the outside. Giafoni sets to the bottom, or to the outside, and Brienza will roll the center of the corner. He'll let the car drift to the outside. Giafoni widely checks up. This is the battle for the race win right now. 6 laps in. Giafoni lunges to the inside. Will he go off? He doesn't. He holds on.
He likes passing in there.
That was a good move to the inside for Giafoni. New leader, book it. He is through. Nicholas Giafoni for D-Force Racing has gone P1 as they're trying to grab both victories to start the season. D-Force winning with Quinn Armstrong yesterday, and now it's Giafoni up front. That was a late dive lunge, but I'm going to throw it out there for Brienza as well. Didn't force it and try to pinch back down.
Yeah, 100%. As you can see, we can see out the window here that looks like he went to block the inside and Brienza went to the outside. So we'll see who comes out on top here. But it's definitely going to be a good battle, both fast race cars. And if they start battling hard, then hopefully the Verdi boys can catch back up, and it'll be a good race.
Oh, indeed. Look at this coming through the corner again. They are scrapping it out. Brienza, of course, finished second yesterday. A little bit of a mechanical coming on the straightaway yesterday robbed him of that potential race win. He wants to fight back and get the victory here, but how about a scrap with another D-Force driver in Nicholas Giafoni, the second-year driver out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Looked very good in spring training. We'll watch this fight continuing. Here they come through now, turn number 15 over to 16, and a bit of a gap now for Giafoni. We expect he went on fresh tires. We'll confirm that later. We'll find out before the race this afternoon which drivers will roll off with fresh rubber. Did anybody hold a fresh set of rubber for race number 3? They all had to put fresh rubber on for qualifying. For practice, of course, the carryover set from spring training, a used set you bring from spring training for the opening practice session, then 2 fresh sets of Coopers for qualifying and 3 races. Did anybody hold potentially onto a fresh set for race number 3? If that indeed happens, I mean, if somebody has a fresh set for race 3, they went used tires for race 1 and race 2. That's a bold move, but of course, if there's an opportunity to get that win you want in race number 3, that could be a strategy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could either play it in race 2 and be cautious with your tire wear and have good tires for race 3, or you could, save them and whatnot. But it looks like Giafoni's got a good lead now.
He does at a 0.7 of a second, but the issue is, I believe there might have been some contact between Lockhart and Taylor. They're falling down the order. There's another driver's gone off there, one of the D-Force drivers. That's the leader. Giafoni went off in turn number 3, so we'll unpack a bunch of stuff here over this lap. Giafoni's gone off. Those tires are going to be dirty as heck. They'll work their way through turn 5 and 6. Look at this. Brienza's right with them. We'll lose them over to turn number 7. We'll try to pick it up visually. It's going to be Giafoni blocking to the inside over to turn number 7. Brienza's trying the outside. Through 7, not able to get the job done. Brienza putting a ton of pressure on as Giafoni went off, but as we had said, coming down the order, we'll wait for live timing to come up, but Jack Jeffers has moved his way to 3rd, Ethan Ho up to 4th, Quinn Armstrong to 5th, as a potential issue between Jimmy Lockhart and Max Taylor. Both those drivers who were running in 3rd and 4th have fallen down the order to 8th and 9th. So, Sam, you were worried about it? Potentially an issue between those 2 VRD drivers.
Yeah, I was watching as the cameras went through, and it looked like there was some contact or something through turn 10. Somebody went off. I didn't know who, but I guess I can see now.
Yep, you were able to see from live timing. We're not done yet with this fight. Giafoni obviously pushing extremely hard as he drives the car off the track over in turn number 3. Brienza trying to capitalize. He'll get a good run out of the corner. There's the gap you see back. Jeffers runs in 3rd. Ho 4th. Quinn Armstrong 5th. Barker 6th. Lucas Facuri 7th. Jimmy Lockhart now in the 8th spot. Max Taylor in 9th. Brady Golan 10th. Eric Schoten 11th. Carson Eder in 12th, and Giovanni Cabrera in 13th. There's the leaders. They'll work their way out of turn. I think that's turn number 10 and 11, I believe, that we see them coming out there through.
Giafoni's really fast, so really consistency is key for him.
That's it right now. Put the laps in, right? He's quick. Indeed, he did roll out on fresh tires and maybe used tires for Brienza. He knows he's going to have a grip advantage in the late running here because, of course, if Brienza's on the older tires, they're just going to lose grip throughout the race. Giafoni holding on, but just that little miscue coming into turn number 3 kind of opened the door a bit for Brienza, not able to take advantage of it as Giafoni defended down to the inside of 7.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like there's a lot of grip here. Ooh,
did you see that? That was mid-corner oversteer for Brienza. He had a bunch of wheel on it. The thing almost went around on him. That's going to give Giafoni a little more breathing room coming through turn number 6, the big sweeping right-hander. Max Taylor into pit lane in the number 33, so that will be the second consecutive 13th place finish likely for Max Taylor. Had the issue yesterday. Man, tough one for him to start the season off with a couple of DNFs, or at least 13 place finishes. You got to hate that for a young driver. He's shown good speed all week.
Yeah, for sure. It really kills your confidence, too. So if he can, pull off a couple good, maybe a podium or a race win in race 3, then that should help. But confidence is key, and so is consistency obviously for the leaders.
Indeed, laps winding down. Look at these guys working through. Brienza still right there, trying to see if he can't force Giafoni into another mistake. 8 laps down. They'll see the white flag next time by. Giafoni, Brienza, Jeffers, Ho, and Armstrong, the top 5. Yesterday's winner, Quinn Armstrong, now P5. He's about a second behind Ethan Ho, who's a second behind Jack Jeffers, who's 2 seconds behind Brienza. There you see them all right there. There's all the 5 drivers for you. Lead group working its way through 16 again. Brienza putting his head down. And again, trying to see if he can't come up with a solid result here. Brienza second yesterday, second today, I believe would put him into the point lead. He was on the pole again. He may be pole as well for race number 3. 210.842 and a 210.884 for Giafoni here in race number 2. That's going to improve on him. Giafoni's time, 2:11.8. So this fast time laid down by Giafoni is going to put him potentially on the outside of the front row. He's not done yet. If he puts, remember, the car's getting lighter and lighter, right? If the tires are still there, he may be able to put a lap time down to potentially steal away the pole for race number 3.
I don't know what the rule book is for juniors, but white flag out this time by. But some guys may have put 2 tires on and not a total 4 in the same team last season.
I'd have to find out about that. I don't know, but I don't know if that would be a call, but that's something for the strategists. Whether or not they could put just fronts on, I don't know that they do that.
We were doing that at St. Pete. We were doing single side. So
there you go. There's some insight there from Sam Corey. We'll see what plays out here. We'll get some insight throughout the afternoon because, of course, the race later on this afternoon for the drivers here in this category. We'll see them back on the racetrack. I believe it's around a 4:45 start for the race this afternoon, race 3 of the triple header. White flag flying this time by. Final lap on the racetrack for Nicholas Giafoni. Can he hold back? Joey Brienza will wait to pick them up at the corner here coming through turn number 10. Giafoni, Brienza, Jeffers, Ho, and Armstrong. Now waiting for that shot as they work their way through here. That could be turn number 11, actually. And there they are. That's the gap between first and second. That could be coming through turn, I think that's turn 10. Through the turn 10, 11, 12 combination. So right now, Giafoni still holding enough of a gap. Brienza pushing as much as he can, but again, that big run down the straightaway. Does he have enough to try to make a move potentially in 17? 2 second-place finishes would move Brienza to P1, but look how close he is now. He's trying to get a better run because he knows a little bit defensive to the inside. Oh, that's a big run through 16 for Brienza as well. Here's potential battle further back. That is between Ethan Ho scrapping it out with Quinn Armstrong. That was for 4th and 5th. Jeffers all by himself. Here's our 17 camera. Got it up for the final run down the straightaway. Perfect timing. Exactly. So there's your leader. There's the defense further back for 4th and 5th. Brienza, does he tuck to the inside? He's not there. Giafoni does not defend at all. Brienza's going to try to make a move here through 17. He'll look to the bottom of the racetrack. Can he make it stick to the bottom? Can he get a better run? Coming to the line, looks to me like Giafoni's going to take it again. The D-Force team running out to the wall. They go back-to-back jacks. Yesterday was Armstrong. The winner today, race 2 in USF Juniors, is Nicholas Giafoni. Giafoni victorious here in race 2 at Sebring. A tremendous run coming from 6th on the grid. That's exactly where Quinn Armstrong started yesterday. P6, a good place to start so far, as Giafoni was a rocket coming through the field. Reeled in your pole sitter and early leader, Joey Brienza. And Nicholas Giafoni with the win. Brienza and Jeffers, 2nd and 3rd once again. Ethan Ho in the 4th spot. Quinn Armstrong 5th. Ethan Barker 6th. Lucas Fakuri in 7th. Jimmy Lockhart 8th. Brady Gold in 9th. Eric Schoten 10th. Carson Eder, Giovanni Cabrera, and Max Taylor round out the 13-car field. Green to checker again, Sam Corey. That's what we love to see out of these USF juniors. You were part of the action last year. You'll be in USF 2000 in that race on Saturday and Sunday. All in all, pretty good event.
Yeah, I mean, the racing was really clean. I mean, great job to the drivers, and obviously this USF Pro Championships really gives these drivers a good look for what they're in for coming up through the ladder. So it should be a fun weekend.
And these are drivers we're going to see move their way into USF 2000, 2024 and beyond. Congratulations to Nicholas Giafoni, Joey Berenza, and Jack Jeffers. All three of those drivers will head over to the Victory Lane here at Sebring. That's where we're going to go right now. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be live from Victory Lane here in just a couple of minutes.